Can y'all hear me? I had to rush to try and get everything done. Looks like it works. So let me catch up here. So, sorry everybody, a little late there. No, my notifications didn't go up very early, Lori, because I was busy trying to do something. Yeah, it kind of makes me nervous, Jay. She's got that machete handy a little too easily. Why did that not refresh? Okay. I did send some links out. Unfortunately, I was a little behind in getting everything done. There we go. So who do we have? We have CR, we got Jay, Texan, Lori, Burning Hearth, Good Grief, Cecilia, and I seen Kyle at the very beginning there. So how's everybody doing? So what do you think of the finished product? ACR, I created something. What do you think? Hey, Al. Yeah, those will be for sale soon. Hey, Lisa. So yeah, I will be selling packages of 4 coasters, and I'll have some little felt footies for them. Price to be determined. They'll be unfinished, so you can finish them however you want. If you want to leave them natural, if you want to stain them or coat them or whatever. But I think it turned out okay. It's not 100% perfect. I got to work on 1 or 2 more little details on it, but the actual finished product may change. But it takes 2.5 hours, actually a little over 2.5 hours to make one. So what all I missed while I was away? Did y'all have fun without me? Lori, it is a laser engraver. And a stinky. I have a fan blowing through an activated charcoal filter to help limit the stink. So activated charcoal has many uses. So I don't know if Will or Gil will show up. I only just got a chance to send out the link because this computer was active and the computer or the camera and the microphone and stuff weren't hooked up to it, so I couldn't go live before now. Because I didn't want it to crash the program. So did y'all have any good conversations? Did I miss anything important? Because I was gone for what, 5 days? I didn't want to get out of bed. I got up enough to get him off to school, and on his days off, I shoved him over to the neighbor's house. Still not doing too good. He is not happy about his punishment for punching a teacher. I mean, they know he's got triggers and certain things you don't do to him, and they did it, and he hauled off and smacked one of them. I'm not saying I approve of what he did in any way, shape, or form. Don't get me wrong. But they also know that he is a very physical person when pushed, or in this case, pulled. You won $750 on a fitty. So you're more than you're going to be my first buyer? You're going to be the first buyer? I'm kidding, of course. But yeah, they know better than to try pull. Hey, Blue Healer. NyQuil. I wish I'd have had some last week. It might have made getting to sleep a little bit easier. But yeah, they know not to try and pull on him when he's trying to run, because in first grade, was it first or second grade? Yeah, maybe in last year. He pulled on a teacher as they were running. She tried to stop, told him to stop. She pulled back on him, and he pulled her down, and he put her off work for almost 6 full months. That was bad. Hey, Holly Ridge, what's up? Prep studying with Nana. Hello. Well, thank you, Burning Hearth. Yeah, I might change the tent and fire out at the bottom because the little fire thing didn't turn out the way I wanted it to. But I'm gonna go over it lightly with some 800 grit sandpaper to take off any of the excess burnt wood dust. But I think after that, they should look pretty nice. What about subscription feed there, CR? Cecilia, that's what we're working on, is his anger issues. We've tried medication. The medication they had him on wasn't working. So he is now off of it because I'm not going to pump drugs into his system if they're not doing him any benefit. I think that's just stupidity. Hey, Pennsylvania. I will also be making some little like key fob or key tag things. I'll put the SOP logo on it when I get it finalized and sell those too. Those will be cheap. Those would be like $2 plus the cost of a stamp. So $2.50. Coasters will probably be $20 a set of 4, and I can probably for an additional cost get some holders for them. Yes, Nana, it sure is. He does have a touch of ADHD as well. He's also in the autism spectrum, is what they're telling me right now. So he's got a double whammy. Plus, he has a very addictive personality. Don't worry, Pennsylvania. I think they started that because I said it once or twice. I won't say it no more either. So anything exciting? Hey, Tibor. As do I, Lori. I pray for him every day. And I will also be able to do custom things. You know, if you have something you want put on, say, a coaster-sized item, you know, something like your logo or something that you want to make out for prizes or whatever, I can work with you on a price to where it's not cutting both our throats to do it. But, you know, if you got to say you got a giveaway and you want to give away a little teeny plaque, because I can do about a 5x5, maybe a 6x6 sized item. But of course, the bigger it is, the longer it's going to take to burn. He gets occupational therapy at school. He has a whole lot of workers. When I do a parent-teacher meeting, there's 8 people in that room besides me. It's not a CNC, Holly Ridge. It's a laser engraver. Yeah, I know. I actually went onto Amazon last night to try and get some Clorox wipes because I am out, and I couldn't find any that give me, you know, next day or under Prime, even 2-day shipping. The only thing I could find was a so-called eco green type stuff that had some eucalyptus oil and a few other essential oils in it that I know will kill bacteria and some germs and maybe a few viruses. So, you know, it's just for general cleaning here around the house. I didn't really need Clorox, but I'd preferred Clorox myself. but I couldn't find any. Yeah, the people are starting mass panic buying. And if people would have been listening at the beginning of January when the original bells were sounding, everybody would be ready. Nobody would be tripping over their own 2 feet trying to get to a store. Actually, lasers aren't that bad as long as you have something like this to block the laser beams. Red works best. It comes with a pair of crappy green goggles that I wouldn't trust for nobody. Yeah, I've tried outside of school occupational therapists, and the one we did have kind of burned him pretty bad. Hey, Rustic Traditions. That's pretty cool. I'll have to look that up there, Pennsylvania. Yeah, you could use it for eye surgery. That's most definitely. I mean, this was only set at 80% power, and the burnings are about 0.5 millimeter deep. And I'm not even sure I have it in proper focus, to be honest with you. Or, Texan, if poop hits the fan really bad and we have, hey, there's somebody. Who could it be? It's Gil.
Sorry, I was watching Doc's video.
No problem. I had to try and catch up on a few too.
Yeah.
So, did you see this, Gil?
Ooh, cool.
I made that. You saw me.
Yay.
So I'll be selling some soon.
Is it programmable?
I made the program myself. Well, not the whole program. Did I see a mouse sneak in here?
Mouse knows. Hey.
Hey, Miss Mouse.
Prep setting, Nana, Brenda.
Yeah,
Hey, Tibor.
Got a pretty full house tonight, really. 18 already.
Burning Hearth Homestead. Kyle's here. Go back up, Texan. Who all did I miss here? CR's here.
You're right, Mouse. The trolls are angry. We keep smacking them on the head.
Rustic Traditions. Wayne G. I'm going backwards. Heaven's Essentials. Pennsylvania Prep Center. Or Prepper. Blah. My eyes are kind of still blurry. Okay.
It helps if you clean the glasses once a year. Just got to be careful. I was cleaning mine and actually knocked a little rubber piece off, so now I have to have a piece of tape there to keep it from scratching my nose.
Yeah, it's also more than the glasses.
No, do not.
Nope, still blurry. Still blurry.
Do not admit your age.
No, just to getting the sleepy goo out of my eyes. Took a nap with my grandson. Got about a half hour ago. I was playing catch up on the videos and hey, Chris.
What do I get to order on Amazon, Miss Mouse? Because I think I missed something, which is normal for me. And I keep trying to send people over to your house, Mouse, but they keep telling me there's all kinds of traps set outside. So, they keep trying to visit, but they've heard the warning. They step on your porch, you're going to get a cat popped in them. So they're nervous. I keep telling them you're a sweet old lady, though. Just don't mess with her canned goods.
Dollar Tree eye repair kit.
Yeah, I just got to get up to the optometrist. He'll fix it, no problem. I was going to do that Monday when Charles got kicked out of school. And unfortunately, I had to rush back home to get him off the bus.
Oh, man. Yeah.
Hey, on porous surfaces such as cardboard, paper, plastic, the virus doesn't live that long. Okay, it is 2 to 3 days max, and that's at the outside max. Surfaces you have to worry about are metallic,
stainless steel. What about smooth plexiglass?
It won't live that long.
All right.
Yeah. See, Jay, it's just a question of how you word it. I worded it politely with respect.
All right, so Mouse Toe's a year older than I am.
Mm-hmm. You wouldn't know it though by watching her work around that kitchen, though.
Which means she's still young.
Uh huh. She runs circles around most everybody here. I can almost guarantee it.
Yeah. Yeah, my sister's 10 years older than I am.
Where did I get my prep, Sonny? And welcome. Thank you, Mouse. Numerous different health agencies across the globe. I don't just take our Center for Disease Control. Don't. They lying to you. It's all political. Don't listen to the WHO. They're bought and paid for by the Red Dragon's owner. I've listened to doctors from Italy, Germany, Spain, South Korea. And when you start listening to different doctors from different countries, and most of them are saying the exact same thing, it's pretty definite that what they're saying is the truth.
Especially
And
when it's all the same and it's different than what the
yeah, it's 110%
CDC.
different from what we're hearing from our own government. You know, I spent the last 2 days trying to ignore it, but I kept getting it in my feed, so I finally watched a couple of different videos, and it's getting bad, just as predicted.
Yeah. I'll pull that up. Let's see what the time is. It's been several hours since I last. It's been going up numbers per hour.
Yeah, it's exponential. There's now what?
Well, at 3 o'clock my time, 5 o'clock your time, it was 153, 11 dead, 8 recovered. Gave a out of the resolved category of 19 between those two numbers gives you a death rate of 57.9%.
Right. And to Lori's comment, South Korea and Italy are the only ones actually trying to produce the real numbers. They're trying to get it under control as fast as possible, and they're being honest about what they're getting, which is why you see Italy's numbers blowing up. They're not hiding anything.
Yeah.
They're not changing their testing routine, and they're not saying, well, they just got the really bad flu. You know, let's not test them. It's just a really bad flu. They're older, and we're just not going to count them among them people, which is what our own government's already done.
Yeah, because some of the people here that are not counting is having it all say, "Oh, wait a minute, that one died. Oh, we got to report it."
Not necessarily. There's been one person that died. They put down as pneumococcal pneumonia. Hey, somebody else.
Pennsylvania. All right. So, out of the resolved numbers for the United States, the resolved numbers being, hang on here, 11 deaths, 9 recovered. That's 19 total that have been resolved, whether they're going to get well or not. The percentage of the not out of that resolved number is 57.9%, because you have 11 died, 8 recovered. Yeah, and someone told us, well, what about all the others? I said, you can't count those others because they have not been resolved yet. We don't know whether they're going to get better or whether they're going to get worse.
Exactly.
The death rate should go down as people get better, unless this turns out like the bird flu, where they had a 60% mortality rate.
Actually, Jay, I don't think the HIPAA law is going to account for this, because this is a pandemic. And the HIPAA laws kind of go out the window for pandemics. I mean, they're not going to tell me and you personally what's going on, but they do have to report it to the government. And the government should be, who's supposed to be working for us, telling us the entire truth. Yes, Lori. All over China's social media that there are deaths that are not being reported.
Or they're being reported as something else.
Well, they're saying that there's cases right here in the United States that have been ongoing, but nobody has said anything about.
Well, yeah, they're just counting them as the flu, pneumonia. The only bad thing is they're not something like, as I mentioned it last night. One thing they're not talking about is the fact that it's causing organ damage. And that is a key issue that nobody wants to talk about, especially our own government. They don't want people to go out and panic.
So I won't be able to see the chat. If somebody's got a question for me, you guys will have to tell me I'm on my telly.
Not a problem. We will scream at you. Well, the HIPAA law pertains to you and me as persons, but considering this is a pandemic, it is global. The government has already asked hospitals to report the numbers, so I don't believe the HIPAA law pertains to cases. Now, they can't go. The government can't come in and look up your medical records just because there is one, because you're still covered under HIPAA as long as you're bug-free, or in this case, dragon-free.
They have to report any death that is part of that pandemic.
Any case.
Yeah.
Well, that's my understanding of the law. And guess what? I've been wrong before. Not very often, but I've been wrong before. And the one time I thought I was wrong, I was actually right. So there's that. Kidding, of course.
Yeah. Okay. The Johns Hopkins site is not functioning properly.
Go figure, eh?
It says I'm getting on all those little windows is not fully configured. I've tried
probably
rebooting
overloaded. It's probably overloaded.
No, it's not that type of a site where it can get overloaded. All it is because it's just a view interaction thing. Because right here, the other one says 159 cases, 11 deaths, 9 recovered. So it says that one more has recovered than the Johns Hopkins did 4 hours ago. But the other one is not coming up. I'm going to do that. Try rebooting the whole thing here on the other computer. Live streams, coronavirus.
I know I came in late, but they said Washington State's the epicenter.
Actually, California is the epicenter. They're not going to do that because California is a blood red state.
Yeah.
Washington State still has some blue left in it.
Yeah.
Not much, but. Well, that's the concern of a lot of us dumb people, if you will. Not saying any of us are dumb, but that's what they call us. That it actually has evolved at least one time since leaving China. That's why they figure Italy, because there's a couple different strains that they think they have.
Isn't it France is going to close down its borders, all of the borders around it?
Yep. Italy has closed for the entire country of Italy. They're closing all schools until further notice. That's colleges, universities, and regular schools for kids. Well, why they think it's evolved because the strain, and this could just be the strain itself, in some areas is exceedingly fast spreading. And since the very first time I reported it, it's airborne back in the beginning of January, and now they're admitting it in some countries. I believe that's why it's actually spreading so quickly, is because it is airborne and not just fluid transfer.
Okay, I just put the link to the Johns Hopkins website in there.
Mm-hmm.
So for
future reference.
No, Pennsylvania Prep was asking which states have cases or don't, and what's the lowest number. Right now, unfortunately, it is showing up here not functioning properly. It's not fully configuring on like it's supposed to, and it's not showing them. But I do know that California, let me pull up my other document here real quick, had 100 and Oh no, the U.S. has 159 cases. California had.
Evening prepping.
Shoot, I lost it here. I was calculating and I haven't finished it, and I booed. What they're admitting for California, and let me see if I can go back. San Diego had 2, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So I think California had 21 and 1 death. That death was up in Placer County. Seattle has the rest of the deaths. Most of those are in the county that Seattle is in, and in the one
King County,
and the one in the county north of it. Oregon has 2 cases going on there. Wisconsin had 1 and it recovered.
The link Bedtime Stories me just put up is a different YouTube channel that has constant live running feed if you want to see for yourself where everything is.
That's the
hey Howie.
That's the one that has the title of the novel coronavirus outbreak, but it won't break it down by states. It just breaks it down by countries.
Ryan the Gamer was telling me in my live stream that his state's got 1 now.
Yeah. Okay. So here it says 159 for the United States, 11 deaths, 9 recovered. Now the John Hopkins, which breaks out by states, is not configuring all the way. See, it says not fully configured. I've rebooted it several times. I'm not sure what's going on with it. But yeah, it shows all the ones up here. It's actually got a big red dot up here, big red dot down here by Santa Clara County. And Santa Clara actually has 11 in it now, if I remember right. But they're not reporting the ones that are on the military bases. Because I know there's a bunch up in Solano County at Travis Air Force Base. My wife's been feeding me that information. There is a bunch in Kansas over here near Kansas City at the Air Force Base, but they're not reporting them on the maps, any of the maps.
Yeah. And we've also got a case in Wisconsin. You've got it in Illinois. I think there's like 10 different states that currently have viruses.
Okay, cases. Italy now says 3,000. Anyway, it's that same one I had earlier here. Let me check my spreadsheet. Oh yeah, okay, so it hasn't changed on it. It's last night it was 2,500 for Italy. Now it's 3,000, and that's So basically, they're running. Their deaths rate is dropping to It was last night. It was at 33% was the death rate. It's dropped to 27%. So more people are recovering in Italy than what you get more recovering than there are dying. So they're making headway in Italy.
That's because they got the borders closed.
Right. I'm going to answer a question here real quick. Holly Ridge, why is it more concerning than the flu when it comes to the deaths? Because you are concerned. Well, that's a good concern, my friend. Tibor is partially right. Contagious factor. This thing is highly more contagious. It's got an R naught, which is the infectability factor of at least 4.5 and upwards of 6, depending on the climate and the people around the person who has it. Also because people are asymptomatic, and they're able to transmit the virus not knowing that they actually have it themselves.
Yeah. There are two in Contra Costa County where my wife lives that are showing no symptoms, but they tested positive.
And the fact that some people, when they've recovered, are still asymptomatic. They still have the virus, although not as a potent version of it. They're still carrying the virus in their system.
Yeah. And if you look at, let me throw that sheet back up here. I did a little comparison here at the top of this. All right, SARS, U.S. cases was 27. Deaths, 0. Recovered, 27. MERS, 2 cases in the U.S., 2 recovered, no deaths. The swine flu, on its big year, they said they're not sure. They said they suspected upwards of 59 million people had it, but they only had documented 265,000 that were hospitalized. They had 12,469 deaths, recovered of 200, blah, blah, blah. That had a 4.7% death rate. And everyone said how bad it was. We had no cases of bird flu in the US. And so, and then the last two here, these are just, I'm running the times as I update off the thing, tracking how bad it gets and everything. So right now last night during the live at the end of the live last night, we're at a 52.9% death rate. Now we're at a 57.9 death rate. Our death rate here is going up because people are dying faster than they are recovering because the way their people are reporting it and tracking it, and
No, it's being transmitted
our
faster.
health departments are infused with members of a certain political party that like to lie to the people. Stupid Democrats.
Hey, there you go, Gil. Go check that out for us.
Which one?
Writer just asked a question. There's a coronavirus prediction tool out now, which I'm not surprised.
From Anthology Channel.
Endology.
Let me see if I can find that.
Okay, I'm gonna go back up here. Excuse me.
And that's a YouTube channel, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Hi, family. I didn't take no offense to it. The people who are saying that are not paying attention to the numbers, because sadly for those people who are saying it does have a gene for the Asian people, are not realizing that the people here in the US that are getting it, they're not Asian. They're good old-fashioned Caucasians.
Okay.
I'm not saying that in a racist form either, but that's just poppycock.
Okay, there's a bunch of anthology channels. Let me try searching
they're trying to get people to quit buying masks. Okay.
Yeah.
There's a 24-year-old student who was perfectly healthy who's now hospitalized because of the virus. Okay.
Here, I found it. All right, let's see what this thing here says. It's coming up here. Okay, prediction tool. Coming, da-da-da.
And that's cool, Sonny. For the last couple of days, I've been out of it and haven't really wanted to do much of anything. So I've missed a lot of videos I got to try and catch up on. But if y'all don't know Sonny Preps, go over and check her channel out. She does pretty good stuff.
All right. So here is Control C, go back over here. So here's the link to the prediction tool that they're talking about. All right, so they're going through the commercial crap.
Yeah, as soon as he gets through that commercial poppy pop, I'll put her up.
Yeah.
Let me know when it's ready. Hey, let's talk about prepping.
Yeah, this is a half-hour video, so it's going to take a while for me to go through it.
Looks interesting.
Yeah, but he is very long-winded and drags out his stuff. He could probably do his video in 10 minutes easy. I've watched several of his other ones. He likes to drag it out.
Kind of like me, huh?
No. I think he thinks he's a professor teaching at a university and law degree of some obscure passage.
Hey, we've got some of those in our government.
Yeah, but I will review it later. I got it up. I will watch it later, and when I got time to pick it apart. And tomorrow morning at 10 o'clock Mountain Time on my open chat, I will discuss it then when I find out what I learned tonight. Yes, his wife is a nurse too. Yeah. You must not watch the video, but go to the
description section for download.
Yeah. Well, I want to see what it is before I download anything to my computer.
Yes, Dr. John is a good channel to watch. So is Peak Prosperity. And he's been talking about the markets going for the last 3 weeks. Guess what the markets are doing?
Yeah. Although they did have a dead cat bounce earlier.
Well, that's because of the Fed rate cut. That was throwing bad money after good.
Yeah.
You can't print money to save an economy. You can't. You can't take something out of thin air and make it valuable. Yeah. It just doesn't work that way. That's what they did.
Hey, Sue. Hey, Tim.
Hey, Tim.
Hit a refresh and see if the John Hopkins.
Hi, everybody. I can't see.
Will's doing his thought impression. He's sitting there contemplating life.
Yeah. All right. Oh, okay. Numbers are starting to come up here on the John Hopkins. Okay, it has the John Hopkins is 2 less than the other one does. But let me bring it to the U.S. and see what the U.S. is doing.
Hey, let's talk. You can do that if you have the proper equipment. I personally can't reach up and grab that molecule and get water out of it. I don't have the equipment. So to me, it's nothing at the moment.
Okay, so states that looks like they have 0 in it right now. Actually, it's easier to list the states that have something there. So Washington, they got 31 confirmed in King County, 9 deaths. 1 death in Snohomish County. Snohomish. All right, so that's so they got a total of 8 and 30 seconds, 39 total cases in Washington. Oregon
has in King County.
2 confirmed for Washington County. Washington County and Oregon, and 2 in Altamira County, Oregon. So Oregon, that's 1. So that Oregon has 3. California, I got to add these up here. Let me zoom in a little bit here. Wrong way. So California has, San Diego has 2, 3. So that's 5. It makes 12, 14. And 14 is 28, 30, 31, 32,
hey, Mama Z.
33, 34, 35, 36.
Laura, you're not supposed to cut yourself.
38. So there's 38 in California. California has 1 death only so far, right? Yeah, only 1 death.
Oh, that's good. And hey, any of my subs that aren't familiar with Holly Ridge yet, please go check out Chris's channel. He does some pretty good stuff there. And he could use a little bit of love from us. So if you're not a sub of him, there's 26 of us in here. There's got to be at least 1 person that hasn't heard of him yet. Go check him out.
Yeah. Arizona had 2 confirmed cases, 1 recovered, 1 still existing. Nothing showing in Nevada. Nothing in Idaho, Montana, Wyoming, Utah, Colorado.
All right, Al. Have a good night.
New Mexico. Texas has 1 in San Antonio and 1 in Fort Bend County. Oklahoma has none. Kansas says none, but I know that the Air Force Base in Kansas, they have at least a dozen that are under quarantine, and some of them are supposed to be confirmed, but for Nebraska, Nebraska, Kansas, okay, North and South Dakota, nothing. Minnesota, nothing. Wisconsin has 1, and that one's been listed as recovered. Iowa's none. Missouri's none. Illinois has, Chicago has 4 confirmed, 2 existing, 2 recovered. Down in the South, Georgia and Atlanta, we have 2 cases.
So far, I had nobody here in Ohio.
Yeah.
So far.
1.
Thank you, Mouse.
3 cases in Florida, down by Tampa. Oh, North Carolina, Raleigh has 1 case.
We also now have
West Virginia, Virginia are cleared. New York has 1 case. Winchester County has 10 cases in New York State. Pennsylvania seems to be clear. Providence, Rhode Island has 2. 1 in Norfolk County, Massachusetts. 1 in Boston, Massachusetts. 2 in Grafton County, New Hampshire. Maine's clear.
that's it for us.
Yeah. So
Tibor, what state were you referring to? Is that here in Ohio? Because I have not heard of that.
King County, wouldn't King County? That was Washington, wasn't it?
Yes.
King County's where they got 9 deaths or 8 deaths in Washington.
Yeah, it's a pretty
9
populated
deaths
county.
now. They've upped it to 9 deaths.
Okay, Washington. Yeah, see, our government and CDC and the WHO says, oh, the healthy younger people are not to worry about it.
Okay, so we
And
have
unfortunately, the numbers are proving them wrong. So please, folks,
11, 9.
if you never, ever listen to a word I tell you, again, please get your PPE now. It's getting harder and harder to find it. I went through Lowe's today because I had to go for a walk with the kid to get out of the house, and they're completely out. There's no Tyvek suits. There's no masks. There's no respirators. There's no nothing. They only had 1 box of gloves left, and they're too small for my hands.
Yeah.
So if you haven't got it, you better get it.
Sam's Club was still stocked up with with gloves, all sizes. Costco was out yesterday. Costco was out of toilet paper yesterday, but they were saying they have a shipment coming in. At least the one in Pocatello, they were having a shipment come in today. But they were loaded down with Bounty toilet paper. I mean, they had the whole backside of the store was pallets and pallets and pallets of Bounty toilet paper. So somebody messed up there.
Julie, you're correct. Allergy season. People who suffer from allergies already have an upper respiratory issue as a rule. Sinus cavity is part of your upper respiratory, if I remember my biology correctly. And that gives the virus an avenue of attack. So yes, the virus will probably attack those with it.
And if you're looking for some of the PPE, don't forget your auto parts stores.
Right. Yeah. PPE stands for personal protective equipment. Anybody who's worked in any kind of hazmat field or anything like that already has a good idea of what to get.
Yeah. Now, the Harbor Freight here in Idaho Falls still had a bunch of the cheap face shields, and they had gloves. Both part of your PPE. Now, if you can't find a mask, I'm going to pull it up here. Yesterday, Nurse Amy of Bloom and Doom put out a video yesterday on how to make. It's not a NIOSH approved, it's not an FDA approved mask, but it's better than a poke in the eye with a sharp stick, and it's actually pretty good. Let's see if I can find it here real quick.
That's what we're doing, Rustic. We're isolating as much as possible.
Backbones and Nurse Amy.
I don't go anywhere for the most part anyway, but
okay.
When I go to get groceries tomorrow, if my ride shows up, I'm going to take a bath in hand sanitizer before I walk in the store, take a bath as I'm in the store, and take a bath on my way out of the store. So yeah, I'm taking a big bottle of it.
May want to wear a respirator type of one of those paper things.
Okay, I just put up the link, and I got it up on the side over here. You want to show it for a minute?
Oops, I hit the wrong button. Try again. It's on my end, don't worry.
All right. So there's her making how to make masks and stuff. So she goes to, oh, wait a minute. Let me change the resolution on that. Dang it. Sorry. I had it turned way down. Actually, it's up pretty good there. Let me turn up the HD. There we go. That's going to come in a little bit sharper for you there.
Oh, that hurts. That just cut me. It's sharp.
Yeah. But she talks about how those surgical masks she sold in there are not they're just for blood splatter, not for airborne particles.
And mostly that kind, all that does is protect everybody from you. And if you got a cough and a cold, you wear one of those to keep it from getting it to everybody else.
Yeah.
That's all those are good for.
Yeah. So, and one of the things, come on. Well, I'll just go ahead and close that since I don't need that going. So I put the link out there. Yeah, keep an eye on your Home Depot in the tool section, back where they got all the goggles and the dust masks and stuff. Down on one of the bottom shelves for $35, it comes in. They get like 4 boxes in, and they're gone like that. It's a pack of 40 N95 NIOSH approved masks. They come in and they're gone. You can't even order them online. You can't reserve them for the store online.
Okay, now seeing as how some people are here that weren't here a little bit ago, I make these now, guys. I'm going to be selling these to help fund the channel because it's costing a little bit now. So I want to fund it. And the best way to do that is make something that you guys can like and enjoy. I'll be making coasters. I'm going to do some little teeny key fobs. And I can do custom work for you guys as well. So keep that in the back of your mind for future use.
Rustic Traditions comment.
Which one?
The bottom one there that they did. My biggest fear.
Right now, the testing says it's not a concern because most packages from China take at least 2 weeks to get here in the first place. And the stuff doesn't live 14 days on packages. So for the most part, you should be fine. But if you're worried about it, just stick it outside and let it sit outside for a week or somewhere where it's not going to get wet, obviously. But
Yeah.
you know, wait a week before you open it. You should be fine.
Yeah. Wade family, I heard someone saying, "Oh, our government has a vaccine for it now."
No, there is no vaccine. No.
No.
And even if the vaccines are not produced in the United States. They are not. We don't have. We outsourced all our production to be able to mass produce the vaccine. To where would that might possibly be?
China.
Yep.
And you're correct, Mouse. Because of the mad panic run on all the stores, people buying up the N95s, our government has told 3M and all the other companies that are making the NIOSH masks to reserve them for government and hospital use only.
Okay. Sunny Prep says she found R95 masks.
Yep. They're oil resistant.
Yeah.
And the P's are oil proof.
Yeah. So check your auto parts stores as well. They might have the oil resistant ones because the mechanics spray
the oil proof ones. They have the P95s for paint.
Yeah. But for paint stores should have the paint ones, but or the auto parts should have something because the guy spraying the cleaners and stuff like that, the brake clean and stuff like that, they need to have some sort of protection. Most people don't think about that.
Camera, thanks for listening, and please be safe while driving.
Yes.
So folks, you guys have seen my first live stream on it back in the beginning of January. This is no joke. I haven't been out spreading fear and telling everybody to panic buy nothing. That's not the case. I've warned you guys to get your stuff ready and get it early so we're all prepared. And I would hope that everybody in here is prepared. Most of us already have a lot of the stuff. I personally was short a few things. Thanks to Doc Bones and Nurse Amy, I have those 2 items, and that was Tyvek suits for me and Charles. So if I have to go anywhere to where that is an issue, I've got suits for us. That was the only thing I didn't have. Well, there's different types of painter's mask, Lori. There's cheap round ones. Those are good for dust particles. If you're doing a air spray, then they have the P95s.
Yeah. The Kleenex that Nurse Amy was talking about was that antiviral Kleenex, I believe.
Mhm.
And that's something else that all the stores I've checked on are out of. However, when I was at Sam's Club yesterday morning, they had a massive supply of rubbing alcohol and cotton balls. You can wipe stuff down with those. The Costco had the 4-pack of the Clorox wipes in stock in Pocatello yesterday. The one in let me see here. The one in Spokane, Washington, and Seattle, those Costco's are out of everything.
So everybody's going to Idaho to get their goods.
Well, to get to Idaho, they got to go down to Boise.
Mouse, send me an email. We'll discuss it. That can go up to about a 6 by 6 inch size. And Tibor brings up a very valid point. Even if you don't get the bug, there's one big thing that nobody here is talking about. It's already, well, Canada's getting hit for a different reason as far as their supply chain, but look at China. Peak Prosperity did a video earlier today, and it showed a graph of road traffic, which is an indication of China's production. And it is less than 50% of normal traffic, which means there's less than 50% of people traveling on the road, which means there's less than 50% of people working, which means their supply chain's broken.
Yeah. However, on the slight silver lining in China is that several of the cities from the satellite pic images that showed massive amounts of pollution and stuff are clear now.
Yeah, now we can see what they're doing. Haha.
Yes, that stuff is just kind of blown away, and they're not, nobody's out driving in massive numbers, so they're not producing as much pollution.
I think
there's some kind of rumor there was another virus coming down the road in about a year.
All right, I got two good comments out there. Tibor says, right now the sheeple are bypassing gloves, alcohol, and eye protection. And Mouse Toes follows up, and witch hazel and thieves oil.
Yes, I'd like to get some of that myself, but I'm kind of out of it at the moment. Thieves oil mainly.
Yeah.
So if you got enough to get you through this one, keep it on hand. It might be usable in a year.
At Costco yesterday, I expected them to be out. I thought they were at first, but they moved it from in front of the pharmaceutical vitamin aisle area where everybody on the way out would see it. They moved it over 2 aisles over so nobody would see it. Was their supply of Zicam, and I picked up a couple of the 50 tab bottles. Price has not gone up on those yet. But also anything that for your runny noses and stuff like that, you might want to get it because in case of a friend or something or a family member gets this by some small chance, make sure you have it to give to them so they don't spread it around the house.
All right, Mouse, I sent you a message.
Oh, Burning Hearth Homestead, I can only hope. I hope that it'll bring it home, not kick it over to the next place.
Well, there's already that's part of what the whole trade agreement was in the first place. They were supposed to be bringing some of it back here.
Everybody, hydrate.
I will in a minute. All right, Cecilia.
Wade family, zinc by itself isn't going to do you that much good. You need the other minerals and stuff and everything and vitamins for the zinc to be absorbed and used by the body. So everything works in balance. Like, for to get vitamin K to work right, you also have to have some vitamin D and something else. And it's just one of the things. And this has been working for our family for years for stopping colds in their track quickly. Of course, it doesn't help you when you got a 16-month-old grandson who is teething and snotting and gets everything his 6-year-old brother brings home from school and gets it all over grandpa. And grandpa is always getting a runny nose from the grandson who loves him over his parents.
The never-ending story.
Hey, Gil, you know what my great grandpa told me one time? Because I asked him why he always had a runny nose. He says, it's the knowledge. I'm so doggone smart. It keeps running out my nose.
Okay. Elderberries and honey. Mama Z's the Mama Z's Texas Kitchen says they're the Bouchards homestead. They make elderberry syrup, and several other people were talking about it. Stringfield Ridge Farm and several others about the elderberry syrup is supposed to be very good at knocking down viruses. Medically proven, don't know. Historically proven, they say it works on them, works for a bunch of their families. So I take that with a grain of salt. Just a grain. You don't need too much salt.
Well, I think with this virus being a dragon, I think we need more than just a bottle. I think we need a doggone nuclear harpoon.
Yeah.
That's true, Mouse. They are a petri dish with no lid. Mine brought home something a week and a half ago, and it kicked my butt for a whole week.
All right, Pennsylvania pepper. Let me turn it on the extra light here, so I can see, so I can read you the ingredients as I can.
And while he does that, I'm going to go get me a cup of coffee.
Already on, you guys.
All right, so leaning over here so I can actually read it here. Okay, so I can. Come on, where's the ingredients on here? Okay, has Zincum, Zincum, ACETICUM, 2X, Zincum gluconium, GLUCONICUM, 1X. So I guess 2 parts of the first one, 1 part of the second one. And I believe those, the second one actually has some of the vitamin C in it, but they give the combinations of the what they put in there, but but then I do have my big bottle of vitamin C's I take with my daily vitamin pill supplements. So, and prep standing with Nana takes off for her coffee too. All right, Tibor says Tamiflu is useless against this particular virus. It's been tried in Germany. Wade fans have taken the lots of vitamin C any day, yeah, every day, yep. All right, Chris, go get clean, wash all those viruses off you from out there playing with the bad guys. Speaking of which, I just noticed my nap earlier and I forgot to take today's vitamins.
Try therapy if you get sick, see if it works. Never can tell. Might be right under our noses and we don't know it.
All right, Chris, take it easy. Thanks for stopping in.
Yeah, probably the main thing you can do for your health is something you get told every year for the
Hey, David.
past 30 years.
Don't you dare say get the flu shot.
Wash your hands often with soap and water.
Sing the happy birthday song twice in your head.
Who, what?
Say what?
New York says they have 11 cases confirmed now. Let's see what I had here.
And see, I think I'm pretty safe. I nuke my coffee most of the day because I don't leave my coffee pot on all day. I brew a pot and then I turn off.
Mm-hmm.
And then I make a pot last me almost the whole day. So I've got enough radiation. It should kill anything anyway.
You're ratified, huh?
Exactly. I'm a rad person, man.
Okay. And it looks like the John Hopkins site is locking up again.
Usually that means they're updating something.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah, David Smith said New York says it has 11 cases confirmed. I'm not sure how many I mentioned earlier when I was reading off the map here, but I'm waiting for it to update here.
And Hyde, that's part of the problem with this virus is, I wish, Jay, the virus is attacking internal organs and it's causing the already weakened people to become even more weak, which then they get put into ICU. Now with the standard flu, most people go into a doctor, then go home. This, if they wind up at the doctor, they stay in the hospital and the hospitals start becoming overrun. Then we're going to look like China they're going to look like China trying to put a massive hospital in overnight, so to speak. We can't do that here in the U.S. We don't have the equipment nor the technology to do what they did. It's not going to happen. The CDC said that they will have to make use of military tents and nursing homes if need be. Hey, Urban Prepper.
Hey, Urban.
Yeah. Vitamin C is one of those vitamins you have to take daily. And if your vitamin C pills say daily dose 1 pill, break it in half. Take 1 in the morning, 1 in the afternoon. That way your body has a chance to use it during the day. Because if that is the daily dose and you take it all in the morning, guess what your body is going to do? It can't use it all. So what's it going to do?
Throw it away.
Or who put it out there?
Little organ.
Said you're going to pee it out. So yeah, and that's just it. That's why you wind up with the bright yellow peas, because you're peeing out the vitamins you're not using.
Dehydrated as well.
Then that's kind of an orangish. It turns kind of orangish and darkish. But if it's the bright yellow, it's vitamins. In other words,
if your pee's not coming out clear, you've got issues you need to get taken care of. Be it drink more or take
more
less
water, yeah.
Or spread your vitamins out.
Means you're dehydrated.
Yep. That's why I take lots of vitamin C. Oh, wait, not lots. I take a daily dose. Have been for years. Vitamin C also fights off scurvy, which you can get scurvy here on land.
Yeah.
Don't let nobody fool you.
Oh, yeah. I like what CR said up there. He was commenting to Mouse Toes about washing his hands with soap and baking soda to remove stuff. The baking soda is a coarse thing, which helps, clean your pores and stuff. The soap that I use for that is good old Boraxo, which the borax in it also has antiviral properties in and of itself.
Lava hand soap's pretty good too.
Yep.
Makes 2 of us, Nana. That's why I take vitamin C. I just had to order some more from my mail order pharmacy, which is here in the U.S., by the way. It's not overseas.
Yeah, let's see what this is showing. Okay, that hasn't changed over here. So the live site here isn't showing an increase. So I think that 11 in New York was part of what I quoted earlier. And it's That's I'm getting no data, so they're updating stuff here.
Mhm. Oh, that's cool, Hound or Hyde. I didn't know that.
Whorehound is part of the Mint family. Okay, Whorehound. Okay, so I got to add that to my list of herbs. Get that back open.
I'm gonna have to look that up myself.
Yeah, yeah.
You've
I have
been doing lot of
I have a sheet. I have a sheet here of stuff that I every time I get a new one from Howie, I add stuff to it.
Howie's got a bunch of ideas, man.
Yeah, a bunch of good information there.
Yeah, he's just a crazy Canuck. I say that with all love, though, Howie.
Yeah, crazy like a fox. Sort
Mhm.
of like someone else we know from down in the
Hail, King of the
south
North.
end of the Central Valley.
Hail, King of the North. Hail.
Hey, Tibor, we got any of that growing around here? If so, I may kick the kid off to school on Friday and go looking for some. Yes, he does, Tim.
Oh, Wade family says it's in Ricola cough drops. Helps stops the mucus. And I got my supply of
Plugging
Mucinex
in my power, guys.
in the meantime.
There we go.
Yeah, I actually ate a baked potato with a little bit of raw microbes on it earlier today, Howie. And no, I did not drown it in what I used to drown it in. I used to drown all my baked potatoes in sour cream and butter. Now just a little bit of butter, a little bit of sour cream, lots of chives, and baked potato.
Did you don't throw any bacon on there?
No, I did not. I don't have any bacon seeds here to make bacon.
Bacon makes the world go around, Dave.
Well, thank you, David, for sticking around. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
And as far as the cheap shop from Cold Steel, it is a rebrand of the Cobra R9, and I've already had somebody in my comments, smash me for it. Yeah, so what? It's a rebrand. It's being as how Cold Steel brought it here to the U.S., it actually makes it cheaper for us to get it. So what if they threw their name on it? It's the exact same thing. Takes the same bolts, takes the same parts. We just don't have to pay import duties on it trying to get the Cobra R9. So
Yeah.
I still think it's a valid weapon. It's great. It's pretty quiet. It's pretty accurate when you get it dialed in.
Tim, yes, that sounds very good. Yeah, can't make gravy without bacon grease.
Sort of.
Garlic pills, vitamin D, vitamin C every day. Yep.
Yeah, baked potato without some salt on it is blasphemy. You gotta have salt. But I limit my salt intake because I'm not very active, so I don't need a lot of salt in my diet. But if I was active and sweating a lot, then I would increase my salt intake to make up for the lost salt that you lose when you sweat.
Something I've noticed with people shopping at Costco and Sam's Club, most people here have membership to one or the other. The smart ones have membership to both because there are things that one has that's a lot cheaper than the other and vice versa. And like right now, with Costco running out of toilet paper and Sam's Club having plenty of toilet paper, I've been hitting Sam's Club.
Ryder does ask, Will, what type of soup would you recommend?
Kind of soup?
Yep.
Chicken noodle, of course.
And guess what? I'm going to have chicken and dumplings tomorrow.
Oh, that sounds delicious.
Homemade chicken and dumplings tomorrow.
Oh, man. You gotta make your own dumplings?
And Dave, if you can get your hands on some N95 masks, buy them.
Yeah.
Because here shortly, it will get to the point where no stores will get them. because they will be reserved for medical people and the U.S. military.
Oh, Pennsylvania Prepper Sam's in back there in Pennsylvania, and ran out of TP today. Hey, my wife was saying the Costco there in California in Concord was out of TP, but Sam's Club was loaded.
Yeah, my Walmart still has plenty of TP, but they're running out of other stuff.
Yeah.
And of course, unfortunately, I can't go to the store and buy what I'd like to buy because I can't carry it home.
Hey, Gunslinger.
Hey, Gunslinger.
Hey, Gunslinger.
Yeah. Yeah, the CDC and certain other agencies went downhill under a certain abomination administration being
You're
packed
not part of the abomination?
when they got packed with some democrats who don't have their head so far up they got to open their mouths to see. I hope the analytics missed that one. Hope that was vague enough.
Mm-hmm. What about a wagon? Wagon for what? Oh, for me? No. I literally, you remember when y'all's grandparents used to say, I had to walk uphill both ways to get to school? I literally have to walk both ways uphill to get to Walmart. It's not a lie. I have to climb a hill and then go down it, then climb it, coming back and go back down it.
Yeah.
I always thought my grandparents were full of crap. And now I see what they meant.
I remember as a kid, we used to pull carrots out of the garden, just brush them off and eat them. And my mom and grandmother would get mad at us. Wash those off. Wash them off.
Children, please pay attention to the pop-up on the screen, as Howie has important information for you to read. Seeing as how Will can't read it.
Nope.
So in Germany, they eat veggies with dirt, so they already have the antibodies built up when the virus shows it doesn't affect them, because you have a high immune system.
Yeah.
Oh, we had a good talk earlier on my.
Unless you live in the cities channel. And you're like the yuppies, you're the yuppie version of the Germans that don't get their fresh vegetables and stuff that way. Get everything all washed off.
Pennsylvania Prepper. No, I do not drive. I do not have a car.
Yeah.
Like just picking the tomatoes off the branch and eating them.
Okay, that sounds good. Ryder just says Dr. John Campbell has a great broccoli and onion soup recipe.
And Miles, I go barefoot every chance I get outside. People think I'm nuts walking on pavement. Said, heck, my feet got so many calluses on them right now. It'd take 6 months to cut them up.
All right, Ryder, that's good. Ryder Dust has both Sam's and Costco.
And Urban Prepper, I'm hearing that at a lot of places. There are a bunch of hospitals, even some locally, that have been told they have to ration out masks because they are unable to get them, as well as various other medical necessities. There is a country that has, as of, well, probably yesterday for them, but today is when I got the news that they've restricted and banned all export of any base medicines used to create other, vaccines and stuff. The country is no longer allowing them for export, which means countries like China, which is where most prescriptions are made and most drugs are manufactured, is no longer getting the supply chain it needs to continue building up a supply for countries like the United States. So again, there's a supply chain hit.
Yeah. My favorite soup, Campbell's bean and bacon, followed by split pea with bacon.
Oh, I like split pea. I like clam chowder.
Yeah. The only time Mouse ever said she would pop a cap on my butt is when I said I was going to go sneak a can of her homemade split pea soup out of her cupboard.
Ooh.
She said she'd shoot me if I tried to do that.
I like split pea.
I would say that would have been justifiable, Mouse Toes. I mean, justifiable. Just, yeah. Okay, Urban Prepper 34. I'm a grocery store manager. They are restricting how much bottled water I can order. That was the other thing that who was it that posted that? Was saying they got 6 cases at Costco and they made them put one back because they were only allowed them to take 5 cases at a time.
Actually, Heaven's Essentials, guess what? I have a newsflash for you. There's a plant in Dayton because I used to haul the empty plastic bottles out of there. They actually make them here in the U.S. There's a plant in Dayton. And they start off only that big. They're little itty bitty things.
Yeah.
Then they heat them up and shoot them full of air and they go, and now you got a water bottle.
Yep. Ooh, 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 ooh.
But now that I have me a nice, great, big, huge slow cooker, I'm going to have to convince Mouse.
I just picked up 10 of these yesterday.
Cool. I'm going to have to convince Mouse to get me her recipe so I can make some of her awesome split pea soup.
Yeah.
Get me a nice big old chunk of ham, throw it in there, and let it simmer for a full day. And if the kid don't eat it, that's just more for me.
Yeah.
Because he don't like green stuff. Darn brat.
Yeah, I got some Campbell's cream of bacon soup. I gotta come up with some recipes to use. It was on super cheap sale at Winco, so I got 2 cases of it. Yeah, I love my bacon.
Bacon's good for a body.
What else?
I see you, Tibor. You're not sneaky enough. I have, 10 5
The
gallon.
Breakaway says use yellow split peas for your soup.
Well, I will add a few extra items to her recipe, I'm sure.
Mm-hmm.
But I have 10 5-gallon blue containers of water that's potable. And then I have like 53 1-gallon milk jugs that are for toiletries or washing dishes. I have it segregated so I know what I can pull from and what I can't. Excuse me.
Yeah, I bought the 10 gallons of water for the short time that because our city, quarter-mile square city here, has its own water system, and just in case there's a problem and they have to get the generators going, I want to have some water here in the house. And then I also bought 10 of those 2.5 gallon containers of distilled water for our humidifiers.
Well, that's why I do what I do, right? Ryder Dust. Mine are the big, ugly blue ones, are square, and I fill them with tap water. And if I go to use them, I'm going to put 8 drops of bleach per gallon into one of those, and I'll let it shake. I'll shake it up and let it sit for 6 to 12 hours, and then I'll use it.
Yeah, Gil, you're gonna need some water for that CPAP machine too.
No, I don't use water in my CPAP.
You don't?
Nope. I used it one time and I put water in a couple times. And it was just like, oh man, no. I mean, my whole face was just wet and everything is no, and it works fine. I've used it for 10 years or so without water in it.
Yeah, I've heard people can use it without. I've tried it. I can't do it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Of course, I don't use that whole face thing either.
Yeah.
Yeah, for those who are living off-grid, basically with solar, are further ahead than those of us living in the urban jungle.
Yeah.
I'd like to get out of this jungle, but it's not an option at the moment.
That's one of my thing. I found the old well on the property, and so I got to see about rehabbing it and getting a pump for it and getting it back up, because the water table here is only like 25 feet deep, if that.
So has it got like an aquifer under it, or?
Well, about a quarter mile, actually a third of a mile due west of me is the Snake River, and it is only the top of the river is only 15 feet lower than what I am.
Lori, depending on the solar panels you have, even on a cloudy day, you can still pick up energy off of them.
Yeah.
So solar will work virtually anywhere unless you're in the Amazon rainforest, where the canopy over your head's so dark that it looks like it's constant darkness where you're at.
And what's interesting is solar panels work better when they're cooler. And they found out at UC Berkeley, they were doing tests on it there, that when the fog rolled in, and in that 2-hour period in the mid morning when the fog's just starting to burn off, they were getting more energy production out of the panels because the panels were kept cool by the fog, but the light for it was still making it through. And yeah, it's one of those weird catch-22 things. Oh, got to have this, but if it does this, it works better. So, Wood Gunsmith, don't mess with bacon. Food for.
Yeah, Howie's talking about some pretty mean comments on the old bacon seeds there. I
want
wasn't
some
gonna touch
bacon
it. I was just
seeds.
gonna let them two hash it out, and we'll see who comes out on top.
Well, how he says for sure he's laughing about it. Yeah. Well, it also depends where you buy your bacon. If you do it yourself, and do it the old-fashioned way, you're not going to get the nitrates in it. Of course, it's not going to have that reddish color to it either.
I would not trust them, Hud. Not in any way, shape, or form.
Oh, the panels, programs you see for solar panels.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what programs they are.
Ohio is getting bombarded with them in your email, in your Facebook.
Oh, you mean the programs to buy them and stuff?
Oh, no. They say, hey, you're in Ohio, and guess what? The government will give you free solar panels.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's not.
Yeah, basically, you get into a program where any excess, it's all metered programs type stuff. And Scott at Hidden Valley Homestead was talking about it because he has it down in Southern California. If you produce more than you're using, they pay you a percentage. If you use more than you're producing, then they charge you. Well, what they pay you is this much. What they charge you is this much.
Mm-hmm.
So, unless you happen to have a good program with stuff, and then but that's the one thing where the lithium battery banks come in to help offset that. So you get it charged up, and in the evening when there's no sun, you use off the batteries. That way you're not doing the other. But some of the programs don't want you to have the batteries because they want to be able to charge you the electrical bill for in the evenings.
David, I'm sorry you're in upstate New York. I'm sorry. It's a beautiful area, don't get me wrong, but some of the politics up there is insane.
Okay. Yeah, John Hopkins is doing some sort of update. All it's going to give me is the left column is still there. And when I click on the US, it's giving me total deaths, total recovered, and it lists the counties, but it's not showing anything on the country itself for what's the current active for any of the other places. So it's getting bombarded again. And the live still says 159, 11, and 9 on it.
Of course, Tibor, I made the good coffee. My coffee is always good. Everybody who drinks my coffee says, man, how do you make it? None ya. What's that? None ya business.
Yeah. Dave Smith, we are all over.
Yeah, he means they're all ran over completely by liberals up there in New York now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know somebody else that lives up in New York. And he was, back when we chatted, he used to tell me some of the bad stuff that's going on up there.
David Smith, run! Yeah.
Hey, I used to drive truck through New York. I didn't like it. New York's the only state where it took them 10 miles to catch up to me driving my truck to give me a speeding ticket. I told the cop, I said, I wasn't driving that damn fast. Well, you were doing 80. Yeah. Your squad car should be able to do about 160. What took you so long? He didn't like my attitude. I didn't like his.
All
Yeah, I'm gonna have to get out of here, guys.
right.
All right, Will. Take it easy.
All right. Take it easy, Will.
You guys have a good rest of the stream. Thanks, everybody.
All righty.
Thank you.
Okay.
And now we're down
Tim,
to 2.
we're all right. If you have a trade-in, where can you get a battery for $40? What's the name of that store? Because I took a core in, and they still charged me a lot for the new battery for my Tundra.
Yeah, David, I seen that bail reform law, and I made a comment, and some people weren't fully aware of the actual parameters of it. They said, well, it doesn't stop the judge, but unfortunately every judge went ahead and didn't listen to their smarts. They just said, oh, bail reform law, okay, you can be out on bail now, and then they go out and do something stupid again.
Yeah, because usually, like if I got something at O'Reilly's or whatever, it's like $120 for the battery, and they charge me a $10 core charge. If I bring the battery in, they just don't charge me the core charge, and they still charge me the $120 for whatever for the battery. All right, let's see what we got going on up here. That's this one.
Yeah, the batteries I would buy if I could buy batteries, if I was going to build my own solar system, which I really like to, but I can't do it here because I have no place to put it safely. If I was going to build mine, the batteries I would use are $240 a pop. They're deep cycle batteries.
The batteries I'm getting for will be getting for my system here. Come from a company down in it's down in Utah, above Salt Lake. Can't remember the city right now. They have they're the iron phosphate lithium batteries, and they're like I have some deep cycle ones now. My deep cycle ones I have now have a 320 life cycle rate on it. These other ones have a 2500 life cycle rate on them. So
the ones I would use are Optima yellow tops. They're originally designed for sound competition, even though they're now marketed more as a marine battery. But they were designed based on sound competition, where there are times when you have to have peak draw. And there are times when you don't need a peak draw. You can just kind of trickle draw. So that's what the batteries are originally designed for. So they work great for solar systems.
Tibor, that may be true of lead acid batteries, but we're talking Lori, the ion lithium ones. And there are a bunch of companies starting up that are producing their own batteries now. The big one included is the one in Nevada, just about, 25 miles east of Reno, called Tesla.
Yep. Good night again, Lori, just in case you missed it.
Yep. Good night, Lori. All hail the Queen of the North.
No, I can't do that. I hit my head on the table. It's too close. I mean, it's right there.
I didn't say bow. I just said, all hail Queen of the North.
That's what you're supposed to do when you hit. You're supposed to bow. I can't do that.
Okay, that's still not acting up right. Okay. Yeah. All right. It's just like, a lot of people for the coronavirus to freak out. They got to get this, they got to get that. Problem is, guys, there's not that much specifically for viruses and stuff that you need to get that you shouldn't have already. Water, alcohol, Clorox bleach, food, toilet paper, all that
not at
fun
the moment,
stuff.
Urban, but give me a minute. I should have done this sooner, but I wasn't paying attention. So give me a minute. I got to go.
Oh, he's going to turn you into a Smurf.
Be prepared. You got to turn very small and very blue. So, oh, Megan's blog. Somebody I follow occasionally, or I follow, but I haven't been able to catch up on her videos. She's actually leaving China.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, and she doesn't say a whole lot concerning that, I don't believe. I haven't been able to catch up on her videos lately. My computer is slow. Have no fear. I'm not giving up my day job. I will not start singing.
Yeah, over the years here, I've picked up, got 2100-watt panels, and I have, I think I got 18
See you, Texan.
15-watt panels from Harbor Freight that I got before everyone. I found the other ones coming out cheaper. Oh, you made a killer there, Tim. If you got 300-watt panels for $50 each, yeah, 300-watt panels is usually around $350. Yeah, you made a killing there. Night, Texan.
Watch out, guys. Urban is now a Smurf.
Oh, Urban Smurf.
Yep.
All right, let's see if that one's come back yet. No, those numbers aren't changing there, so I'm not worried about it. Yeah, I'll find it. Probably the change is probably going to hit in about an hour and a half here. Update for the John Hopkins.
Actually, if I was going to try and build some sort of death ray, as you call it, I would build it similar to the Hubble, not the Hubble. I can't think of the name of the observatory right now, but if you look at some of the large telescopes they use at the observatories, look and see how their mirrored array is designed. You can build one heck of a astounding little beam out of one of those.
Yep.
All right, Nana. Have a good night.
Yeah, that one down in South America they've used in the James Bond movies and some of the other movies and stuff.
That won't work. That's not going to work.
If you line that sucker, you're going to burn out the central point up in the middle again. They're focusing on the wrong
stuff. Then you'd have to do it like which one was it? I can't remember the name of it, which James Bond it is, but they used a ruby in the center. So if you took that one, lined it with mirrors, put a ruby in the center of the top dish and focused everything in the radial arm there, it might do something.
Yeah, if you have the ruby cut just right, so it takes it all and shoots it straight up, and then of course then you might accidentally hit some in a couple of years it reaches out and it slaps some other advanced civilization. I think we're attacking them. Oh, I just had an epiphany.
Uh-oh. Watch out, guys.
All of our radio broadcasts and television show broadcasts have been going out in space. We insulted some alien culture, and so they're bombarding us with the viruses.
Hey, we went through a doggone meteor shower not that long ago.
Yep. That was back on the 28th of December.
The virus was here before that, though.
Yeah. Well, there was one. There was also one in August, and there was one in October, I believe, the end of October.
Yeah, that was Percy. It's September and October.
Yeah.
Man with the Golden Gun is a laser movie, but not the one I'm thinking of. That's the one where and I can't remember the name of the actor. He's a good actor too. I can't think of his name. I can't think of his face.
Not Chuck.
But he lived on that island, had the little midget that was called Tattoo on Fantasy Island, and I can't remember his name either for the life of me.
That was Man with the Golden Gun. That movie was. And that was Christopher Lee.
Yeah, Christopher Lee, that's it.
Was Scaramanga.
Mm-hmm.
And that was with Roger Moore as James Bond.
Mm-hmm.
Man, that was that long ago? Wow, 74. I was still in high school.
I wasn't.
Of course, I graduated in 75, so. Howie says, Earthlings, we are not after you. All right.
I honestly can't remember. It's the one, most of it was done in Vegas area.
Oh, okay. Diamonds Are Forever.
You sure?
Yep. Diamonds Are Forever was done in Vegas. Had James D as the millionaire.
The one I'm referring to is Mr. White or Mr.
Yeah. Well, Willard Wyatt or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the reason I know so much
that
about
was a
that
Ruby, though, wasn't it?
No, that was Diamonds Are Forever.
Okay.
And the reason I know so much about that movie, all those Honda 3-wheel ATVs they had before they were sent up there, they were at my grandfather's equipment company there for the motion picture studios, and we were test driving around his lot there before they painted them white and shipped them off. After the movie, he got all those police cars from that parking lot chase brought back in, and he junked them out.
Heavens, you are so young.
You are
almost born when that came
out. That was.
I can't do that where I'm at. It won't let me click on linkies.
Diamonds Are Forever. Okay, Diamonds Are Forever. That was still Roger Moore. That was 1971. And let me throw this next cast. And that had Jill St. John as Tiffany Case.
CBS Evening News says the coronavirus is up to 9 here in the U.S. U.S. officials are sending a dire warning about coronavirus hotspots.
Yeah.
Tom Vigliani reports. Oops, I just closed out that silly boy.
Okay. The full cast here. And do they have... Okay. Now, the two in Willard White's little thing, those two girls there that were by the swimming pool and fought Roger Moore, Laura Larson and Trina Parks. They both went to Virginia Rose's dance academy and took ballet and acrobatics from her, and I did too. I took acrobatics there down there in Southern California, so I knew them. And it was kind of cool to see. Hey, I know her.
Cat, knock it off.
Yeah.
That's going nuts. And no, she's not an alien. She's not a witch. She's a cyborg. Let's get it straight, folks. She is a cyborg. Don't shake your head no at me, cat. Knock it off. I swear my cat thinks it's chewing. And so she runs over and jumps on my feet. Yes, I know Bambi and Thumper. Yep. And I'm not referring to the movie theater or movie people either.
Yes, I did. In fact, the one that played Bambi, Lola Larson, was actually my older brother's dance partner for a lot of the things that performances they did from Virginia Rose's Dance Academy.
No, I actually went to school with a girl named Thumper. It was her nickname. She had a very bad habit of walking up to guys at school and taking her thumb and thumping on the back of the head. She wasn't very nice. Uh-oh. There goes my other light. Cat's playing with cords again. What did I miss? Sorry, guys. We're just trying to catch up on the chat here. Or at least I am. I don't know what Gil's doing.
Yeah. What happens?
Okay, Tibor, I missed something.
Maybe that's what happens to the bottom of the cow patty when it is left unturned.
Oh, we still got 14 people here. My plan is working to take over your minds.
G-Brain, what are we doing tonight?
Same thing we do every night. Take over the world.
Oh, sorry.
That's okay. I said I have, I had control of your brains, and my cat went meow. It's like, what? Gee, I'm getting dissed by my own cat. What the heck? Dang, Hidden Valley. That's not cool. Got back from Sam's Club. Every store is out of water, TP, rice, and food buckets.
Whoa.
Almost a total panic. I'm not surprised. I'm really not.
Yeah.
It's herd mentality. Literally, it's what it is. Herd mentality. Yeah. When one runs, they all run. Instead of being smart and not sheeple, they prefer to be sheeple. And by the herd mentality, when one person runs, everybody runs. Yeah. The sky is falling. Remember back in the 70s, us older people? Skylab. The sky is falling. The sky is falling.
Okay. So, check something out. That looks...
no, Howie, you're not a lemming. Lemmings are cute little furry things that snow owls love to eat up in the Arctic. So we get a moo in the side.
Storing extra water in glass bottles. I'm not a lemming. Okay. All right.
Yeah, and the thing that worries me the most about most of this is these panicked people are going to do more to spread the virus than if they were prepared and stayed calm. Because now somebody who doesn't know they've got it, who's symptomatic, is going to go rushing off to a store to try buying everything and run around everybody that's already got, and nobody's wearing protection because they ain't got it on. He's running around like a chicken with his head cut off, and he just gave the virus to 87 people.
Well, wait, Scott, you got in an argument with someone about your lack of seriousness and the coming hurricane? Oh, you mean the the coming Red Dragon. Scott, you did change your logo.
Hey, Scott, you changed your logo. It's something I could actually make in something like this. So if you ever want some coasters made for your home that has your Hidden Valley Homestead logo on it, I could make those. Just saying. Hey, I'm sorry, I got to toot my own horn here.
What's going on here?
Okay, I missed something. Where'd it go?
Oh, my wife just sent me something.
Uh-oh.
Cool. Wow, I got to double check that.
What now?
She said Costco. We were in Costco a couple weeks back when she was up here, and I like getting the Kirkland brand jeans. And in my waist size, they didn't have the length I like. They had, the 30-inch, which is way too short, and I had a couple 32s, which is still a little short for what I want. I want the 34-inch length. She says that they have them online at Costco.com in my length. So I got to go double check that after this is over.
An Urban Prepper, it depends on how big it is. I can go up to about a 6x6 inch size. And if you've got the design already and I can work with it, or if I have to try and make convert your design into something that I can use on the laser printer. Just to give you an idea, this is a 4-inch coaster, and it took a little bit over 2.5 hours just to do that. Smaller items won't take
you just
much.
Program it, put it in there, and you walk away and let it run, right?
Yep. I actually had to build a little enclosure on it. I put a picture of it, a sneak peek picture on my Discord channel.
Cool.
It looks
Scott,
nice.
it is very cool and simple, and you got to be able to make great T-shirts out of that, and patches for your hats and stuff like that. Yeah, you can sell a bunch of stuff. And Dave can make all your coasters and key fobs and stuff like that for you.
Yeah, because I got little teeny ones too. Sure, I drop it on the floor and the cat tries to attack it.
Yeah, I got to come up with a better logo for stuff like that.
Yeah, I need to change my logo, that logo out a little bit. Need to get the little fire and tent off of it and figure something else for it, because they didn't transfer very well. Not very cleanly anyway.
Okay. All right, what do we got here now? US shows. Okay, now. Okay, finally came back up here for the Red Dragon here for New York.
I'm not outsourcing it to nobody. I'm not a sellout. I'm trying to put something into the channel here, so I'm not going to sell out to somebody else.
Yeah.
I can do that too, CR. Make little CR keychains.
Yeah. We're still looking ugly here. Hey, Scott, but here's the thing, down in Southern California, well, in San Diego, you got 2 confirmed, 1 existing, 1 recovered. In Orange County, you now have 3 existing. In Los Angeles, you have 7. But if you head up towards San Jose and Santa Clara County, they got 14 cases. San Mateo County, which is right next door, they got 2 cases. And Berkeley now has 1.
Mm-hmm. It's probably at the campus.
In Contra Costa County, there's 1.
The one at Berkeley is probably on the campus. And Democrats are denying its existence. They say it don't exist.
Yeah. And there's 2 at UC San Francisco in the hospital there. Those are the ones that were down in San Benito. They moved them up there a month ago, and they're still sick.
Tibor, there's an issue with what you're thinking. Yeah, the herd mentality of buying things will end quickly when the supply lines stop, when places are put under quarantine, and it's just there's not going to be anything for them to buy. So yeah, it'll stop, but they're the ones to be going hungry and causing massive issues because they're hungry and they're going to do whatever they think they can and think they can get away with it.
All right, I'll tell you why, Scott.
I'll tell you why, because they're going to start selling it on eBay.
Toilet paper has always had a run on it. In 1971, during the Sylmar earthquake, there was a run on toilet paper. And a couple days after the earthquake, the stores were empty of toilet paper. The Northridge earthquake, same thing. The stores were empty of toilet paper. Up here, up by San Francisco, Loma Prieta, the stores had a run on toilet paper the first several days after the earthquake. That and bottled water.
Julie, it does. I'm sorry. The R naught of the flu is what? 2.5 for the flu, which is pretty high.
Yeah.
But the R naught for the dragon is 4.5 to 6, depending on the country you're in.
Yeah.
In Iraq, they're saying it's probably at 6. Italy's at 4.5. We don't know what the R naught here is in the U.S., but I'm assuming it's probably closer to 4.
Yeah.
So it's almost twice as bad as the flu is as far as spreadability. Yeah. And that's just coming from the doctors that I've been checking out. Some of the rabbit holes I've kind of wallered in.
Well, here's the thing also going on with it here in the U.S. Go over for those of you who didn't catch this earlier here. SARS. We had 27 cases of SARS in the U.S. Now, there we go. We had 27 cases, 0 deaths, 27 recovered. MERS, 2 cases in the U.S., 2 recovered. The swine flu. This first one here is an estimate by the CDC. They say they have no idea, but they're guesstimating that 59,000 people caught the swine flu that year. But they only had 265,000 hospitalized. They had 12,000 deaths recovered. The death rate on these numbers here, because you take these first 2 to get the second one, was 4.7%, which is what they claim it was. This is what I've done here. Now, on bird flu, we had none in the United States. Over on the side, you see these are the dates I put these numbers here in. So last night at 8:30, there was 138 cases. At 3 o'clock today, there was 153, and there's currently 159. Right, we have 9 deaths.
Just a second, I need to. Rustic had a question. And right now they're saying that the virus doesn't live in warmer climates. And if you look at this, the way this is spreading, anywhere where it's cold or very cool, like 60 or less, it's spreading. But environments where the temperatures are higher, it's not spreading as much. It's not a very warm, happy virus. It likes its cooler environments.
Yeah, that's why all the flus disappear in the summertime.
Mm-hmm.
So far right now, we're looking at 11 deaths, 8 recovers for 19 resolved. And that gives you, out of the resolved, 57.9 death rate. And that you can't go on, well, you got to count these. No, you can't count these because these are unresolved over here. The 159, 140 of these are unresolved because you only have 19 that have been resolved. You have to use the resolved numbers for your recovered and your death to figure out what your death rate is. Now it should be going down. It should go down, but it's not. It's climbing, folks. All right. So it'll climb for a little while longer, and then hopefully it'll go down. Remember, was it SARS, or was it no? It was the bird flu in China. Had a 60.1% death rate. So don't listen to everyone say, "Oh, it's nothing. It's nothing." Don't get fearful. Don't freak out. Don't go totally nutso. but exercise caution. Wash your hands like they have been telling you for the last 30 years during flu season. Cover your mouth when you cough. You know, when you bring stuff home packages, take a Clorox wipe down the packages just in case someone had something on there. You don't want to bring something home. It's like when you come home from the store, you want to wash your hands immediately. If you have alcohol wipes or Perel wipes or the Perel or one of these other Germ-X things in your car, you wash your hands when you come out, and you get your hands sanitized when you come out of the store, because anything that's in the store you don't want to bring home. So you want to take care of yourself. Normal, common sense stuff. What I showed you on that spreadsheet is just to show you that what we're being told is that being told that it's nothing is a lie.
Okay, here's a tidbit of information for those who are still toying with the idea that it might not be as bad as the flu. I'm not saying that, you're right or you're wrong. I'm not trying to be mean in any way, shape, or form. But the fact of the whole situation is China has lied about the numbers from day one. There is numerous videos of people out there who are, and if you know how to do some detective work yourself, you can figure out if their videos and pictures are actually recent or remodified from an earlier date. Takes a little bit of knowledge, but it's not hard. The last two videos I've seen coming out of China were very disturbing. They were grabbing people off the street and putting them in tubes to quarantine them because they didn't want to be quarantined. But since, I want to say January 12th or 13th, the numbers from China are exponentially off to a factor of close to 100%. So where they're saying right now 75,000 cases there, or 80,000, whatever it is in China, times that by 100. They're talking 800,000. You don't quarantine 68 million people for 75,000. You quarantine 68 million people for 100,000 or 600,000 or 800,000, when a decent percentage of your population may have it or does have it already. That's just common, thought process. You don't quarantine China itself for 78,000 people.
Yeah.
The mortuaries over there, if you look at the mortuaries where they cremate people, they were putting out so much smoke that it was visible on satellite infrared. Okay. Hey, Mama Z, welcome back. That in and of itself is an indication of the fact that they're burning more people than they're telling. And they're listing on death certificates, common cold, heart condition issues, liver condition issues, stuff that this virus actually attacks. It attacks your lungs, your heart, your livers, your kidneys. And this stuff is doing more damage. So instead of listing those people as having the virus in order to keep the numbers low, they are saying, well, this person died from this, not the virus.
Yeah.
So that's how their numbers are staying low. They're deliberately. And it was even admitted on a news channel, and one here in the U.S., which I was surprised they posted it. But there was a letter received covertly from China that was a copy of an email. They were told to lower the numbers intentionally. So, I mean, when you have the CCP telling its people to lower the numbers so they can get back to work, which was the reason they did it, so they can get back to work, that is a big indication that they've hidden numbers all along anyway. Why wasn't our government doing anything? Politics. Plain, unadulterated politics.
Yeah, a certain party loaded up a lot of the health agencies and stuff with their people during the abomination eras, and they're trying to cause an incident where they can blame it all on our current leadership.
Mm-hmm. They've been doing that since the minute he was officially elected. So,
but yeah,
why stop now?
Yeah. pull back. There was a comment and I want to make in this chat. Want to go back up here to it. Where was it? Yeah.
Well,
All right. Scott posted earlier. He's hearing that this is nothing yet, but he says the storm is coming, and it's because of the 28-day incubation period.
which is something I originally said. If y'all think back to my first video, I said people need to be quarantined for at least 24 days. And well, even I was off by 4 days.
Yeah.
So I mean, I stated it way back in January, going by the information that I had. And now they're finally just starting to admit it. So, and I'm just saying that so you guys know that when I give you guys information, it's not out of the rear of my butt. It's information that I've ran around, went to places that you don't really want to go to if you want to keep your sanity, for one, and dug up information that won't get put in mainstream media because they're lame. They're afraid to admit the truth. All right, Howie, have a good night.
Yeah. Well, Wade, your Wade family, yeah. Basically, they're going to try to blame him for not doing anything because all the health officials are saying, "Oh, it's nothing," and everything, and they're going to blame him, saying that they were following his instructions when they're following that certain party's line right now. So when all of a sudden it flip flops, you're going to see a certain group, one with looks like she's had a plastic surgery 400 times, out there screaming, "Oh, we warned you!" And it's like, no, you didn't.
No, and the news will go back to playing clips where she said it was nothing too. So I mean, it's irrelevant. They can do no wrong. Literally, it's proven they can do no wrong. No matter what they do, it's not wrong.
Yeah.
But the whole going back.
I wasn't going to say that, Wade.
What?
Or White. You see, yeah.
But the whole incubation period and I just had the word. The ability to spread the disease without you knowing you have it.
Asymptomatic.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Asymptomatic. You can be asymptomatic even after you've had it and been cleared from the doctors. They've already proven it. So let's say patient A goes to the hospital. They're in the hospital for 14, 15, 18 days, whatever. And there are people that have been in the hospital with this virus, for upwards of 33 days. So that means he had an incubation period before the virus, plus the 33 days of the virus. And one lady who was in for 17 days, 8 days after she got out of the hospital, she retested, had the virus still. And they put her back in the hospital, and she's still there. Okay, so that right there just goes to show that the government's not telling you anything. That's fact. They're trying to blow smoke up your butt so you will get and not do anything. And in the long run, that's what the Illuminati want. They want Depop, Georgia Guidestones.
Yeah. Tibor says, our local news is just fluff stories, or on top of fluff stories is the terror stories. And then Heaven Essential says, this is spread faster when the allergy season in full force. Yep. Allergy season, it lowers people's immunes. They sneeze more, they hack more, and they could be asymptomatic, but then their allergies make them spread it everywhere.
Well, the problem with that is there was the case in New Hampshire. The person was told to go home and self-quarantine. They went to an event anyway. They didn't listen. And that's the problem with 90% of people. And to a degree, I see why China did what it did, mandatory forced lockdown, because they did have people there that were going out and going near infected people and then spreading it further themselves. When if you're told, hey, you need to go home and stay at home, then they need to go home and stay at home, do as they're told, not as they please. It's for the safety of everybody, including that person. But unfortunately, we have too many whiny crybaby snowflakes who get their panties in a twisty uproar crying, "Oh, they can't do that to me. I'm going to do as I dang please, and I ain't got to worry about it because nobody will make me pay for it." And Auntie's friends, if you get my drift, just the name of the group. It's it's
Yeah.
mind-boggling how people can live that way, knowing that there is a rule system for everybody, that everybody needs to follow it, yet they think they don't have to. And that's
Hey, Brastard, I'm looking on the map here. They're not showing those ones being reported yet on the map. Of course, the map it may show up in a couple hours here. They just have the one down by San Luis Potosí, but they're not showing anything in Juarez. Of course, the map could be slow. Let's hope that that what you heard is wrong and there's nobody infected in Juarez. But like Dave was saying, I'm looking here at most the where most of the cases are. The majority of the cases are in the northern half of the country, above the quote Mason-Dixon line, and even in California, the Mason-Dixon line comes on across, and you have 7, 10, 12. So you got 12 cases in California below the line, and the other 30 something above the line that have it. So yeah,
that's the reason, Tim, that the numbers will explode down there, because there is no medical people down there that can deal with this. They don't have any treatment facilities. They don't have hospitals. Of all the countries, the U.S. has probably one of the best. I'm not going to say it is the best, but it's one of the best medical systems in the world, partially because we pay through our rear ends for it. So we have a degree that we can handle this. Those, and I'm not saying this to be mean, the backwater countries, that the average person lives on $1 a week. They're scrounging for food every day. They don't have, their kids go to a hut for school. They don't have the medical treatment that we have. So the disease down there will become a real threat when they get into their winter months, because the experts are saying it's just going to kind of move from the northern hemisphere down south of the border, south of the equator, once winter hits down there. If that's the case, that means this virus could actually proceed for upwards of 2 to 3 years, kind of like the Spanish flu did. Spanish flu was what, a year and a half? This could be the same thing.
Well, actually, in some parts of the country, the way, the world, the way the Spanish flu ran, it started
here in the U.S.
Actually, it started around the world, and it was the first within a week. In a week time, it was around the world in small batches. They documented here in the U.S., but it was also found out it was up in northern areas before some of the even farther north countries. It populated quickly up there, but then the season changed, and then we kind of lost it during the summer a little bit, but people still had a little bit of it. And like in the fall, it came back with a roaring vengeance all over the world.
In heavens, you are correct. Put on the full armor of God. It's exactly what it was. God designed it for, that and the Holy Spirit.
Yeah. But yeah, it's the season, like I said, the rhinoviruses are a cold weather virus. And yeah. All right. So let's take all right. Spring water to cook and drink with. I'm reading what Tim said there, going back on it.
Gosh, are you serious? The sheriff is going by my house, shining the spotlight at it again. Gotta love trolls.
Tibor, the Chinese did not cause the Spanish flu. I want to get on. If you look at the research papers that they're coming out with, they actually believe that the Spanish flu because of how it got to areas where there was no travel to.
It was figured to be a meteor shower of sorts.
Back, the viruses were in, like the amino acids stuff were on the meteors and came down. And that's why it spread. That's why it appeared all around the world within a week. And they didn't have the travel like we do now. Because there were places up in Canada and up in Alaska with the Eskimos and stuff where they were isolated. And when someone got there, I mean, half the people had died because of the Spanish flu. Just because there were 96 workers from China helping the Allies doesn't mean they caused it. They weren't up there. Those workers were not up in Alaska, up in the northern countries and stuff, and Canada, and up in Russia. Yeah.
Actually, Tibor, you forget about the video live stream we did about zombies. Yeah, it can survive reentry. There's a whole bunch of things that are involved in it.
Yeah, there a lot of the amino acids and stuff and bacteria come down. They find it on meteor rocks when they cut them open in there. So yeah, it can survive reentry. Well, like I said, the Spanish flu was not caused. Also, the scientists say no, it was not caused by a vaccine, because it was people were getting it in areas before that vaccine came out.
All the documentation I've ever read, we'll drop it right after this. I'm saying it, but all the information I've ever seen said it started here in Kansas, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong on that part, but it started here in the U.S. and it was carried abroad by U.S. soldiers. Now that's the information that I've read, and let's not argue over it. The fact is, there was a Spanish flu.
Right.
It did affect a lot of people. It killed a lot of people, and it's a precursor to what could happen now. I mean, saying that one country or another one started it is like saying pink is better than blue. It's a personal opinion when it comes to that. Let's not argue over it. Shut up, computer. My computer is talking to me. It's supposed to be quiet.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, same with this here, we do have a location point for the start of the Red Dragon.
South China Morning Post has also got a new update on it.
Okay.
Sorry, I'm trying to catch up on something over here.
Right. No changes there. No changes there on that one. And this one here has, hit the refresh on it. See if it changes at all. I don't think that John Hopkins is going to update again until tomorrow morning.
Probably not,
because the other one has been bumping up the numbers, and John Hopkins is not changing any of the numbers. So I think they've all gone to bed back east and aren't updating it.
And yeah, secondary and tertiary infections are my biggest concern as well, because we're already seeing the community spread where there's no supposed link to outside travel. That means they're getting it in the community somewhere else before they themselves become the carrier and transmit it to other people. And that's your second and third and fourth generation that's people are catching it. That's where the biggest concern is, because some of these people don't know they've got it. They're walking around shaking hands, wiping their nose, not washing their hands and shaking hands. They're spreading that disease faster than walking into a crowded concert.
What does that say here?
Welcome back, Cecilia. And that's why they were actually trying the HIV. What was that called? I can't think of the 3-letter acronym for it. But there's a component in the HIV serum that actually can block, at least initial tests think, that it can block the dragon virus from attaching to your system. That's why they've tried it in other countries. Our country won't do it because it has to go through the FDC first. FDC. And the FDC will say, no, you can't do that.
No, it has to be tested on animals first.
The heck with the doggone animals. We got people dying here. And that this may sound a little callous. And if it does, I apologize in advance. But you know what? If I'm on a hospital bed and they're looking at me and saying, this is going to kill you, you ain't got nothing, but there's a chance you can live if you try this experimental drug. And I'm going to think, well, let's see. My son needs me, and there's a chance that I can live. I'm going to pray and tell him to go ahead. I mean, if I'm already going to die anyway and leave my son fatherless, I might as well try something that might work. But that's just me.
And in my opinion, our government is not supposed to be our babysitter.
No, the government's put there by us and for us, not to be us. We're supposed to be able to live an independent existence.
Yeah, they're just
controlled or ran over by the people we elect to keep us
serve
safe.
us.
Well, they're there to keep us safe.
Yeah.
They're there to help the economy continue in a fashion that's beneficial for the public, not beneficial for the politicians.
Yeah.
That I didn't hear about. I did not hear about that. Exactly, Henry Emerson Joning. It's all in his hands. Whether we live or die today is not by our choice, it's his. If our job is done, we're gone. That's why I don't fear death.
Yeah. But then there's also, the Lord helps those who help themselves. If you're going out being stupid, he's going to go, all right, you're on your own. Yeah. There's only,
And heaven brings up a valid point. If this does turn out to die out pretty quick and, here in the U.S. and we don't have nothing to worry about, then maybe it's gotten a few people to start thinking and preparing in advance. And that's always a good thing. One less person we have to worry about knocking on our doors.
T-Bors. Local news. Truck catches fire hauling emergency delivery of toilet paper in Australia.
That's sad. No, I didn't look into the no-hide laws. I kind of got sick right after talking about that, and I kind of forgot. So I apologize. I'll have to try and remember to look them up again.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, nothing changed there. Nothing changed there.
I don't watch TV, Tibor. I have one. The only thing I use it for is when I'm back there doing a video. That way I can see what I see on the camera to make sure everything stays in focus.
Yeah. Yes, rustic traditions. You're very correct in that.
Well, here's what the Bible says. God did not give us a heart of fear or spirit of fear. He gave us a spirit of love. But he also gave us a brain. There are numerous instances in the Bible where he told his people to prepare. Noah, one of the biggest ones. He also told the disciples just before he went to heaven, before he was crucified, before he was arrested, he told them, take your bag, get a sword, be prepared. Go out and do the work, but be prepared. Even, and mind you, just before that, he told them, you don't need a sword. Now he's telling them, take up your sword. That's a way of saying be prepared. That's breaking it down to the simplest terms.
And in the Old Testament, I'm trying to remember where it is. I'm drawing a blank on it here. I think it's in Psalms. To everything there is a season.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a season to prepare. There's a season to celebrate. This, yeah.
Yep. Joseph's another story. 7 years of plenty and 7 years of famine. Be prepared.
Ooh, the 10 virgins in the story of the bridegroom.
Mm-hmm. 5 had oil, extra oil. 5 did not. 5 went off to go get more, and the bridegroom called them in and said, "Shut the door."
Yep.
They came back and said, "Let us in," and there was no answer.
No, it wasn't answer. It was, "I know you not."
Well, I'm trying to be polite to those who,
Yeah.
I've already went over it once.
Yeah, Cecilia, I'm going to be working on them this week. I had stuff here I had to get done, but yeah, I'll be getting those off. When I get them done, I will ask you for your address so I can send those to you.
Yeah, heavens, I don't expect it to last much past this weekend as the numbers start to explode, just like they did in Italy. Like I said, I think Italy, and South Korea are the ones that are giving us the most honest information because their media doesn't kowtow to the politicians like ours does. So when you have honest information coming out that's not being censored, it's easier to understand the scope of what's going on.
Yeah. If for me, my takeaway for everybody is, just make sure you have your regular preps, because you don't have to have, special preps just for the virus, because the N95 mask is good for a bunch of other stuff as well, not just viruses. Food and water, good for other stuff. It doesn't have to be a special, this container of water is only for use during viruses. Like some people are.
Tim, this is a good distraction from all the Second Amendment problems, ain't it? Gee, how convenient. Did I just say that out loud? Did my brain open my mouth and work out another sentence? I am sorry. Exactly. Excellent quote. I sent you as sheep to the wolves, but be shrewd as a snake and innocent as a dove. Hey, Kaylin.
Yes.
And right, God does not change. He is the same yesterday, today, and tomorrow. Yeah. And also remember that he does not do and say things that he hasn't already revealed to his prophets in the past. And everything that we see in this day and age has already been prophesied. It's actually already happened in the past. So if you're not a Bible believer, that's cool. I'm not knocking you. You're right. You have a right to your opinion. Please allow me to have my opinion. That's all I ask.
Or as in Kaylin's case, if you're not a believer in the Quran.
Yeah. I respect her. She has a faith and she sticks to it. That's respectable. Whether I agree with that faith or not is irrelevant. The fact that she has her faith and she sticks to it is honorable and respectable. And people need to respect others for their faith, not be so, never mind. I'll shut up because I'll go off on a rant and then I won't be polite.
Okay. All kung flu fighting.
I have no idea. I can't imagine how they did it without water bottles and TP back in the day. It's mind-boggling.
Well, I can tell you how they did it up on my grandma's ranch. They had back from the turn of the century stuff. They used to get all the magazines and save all the newspapers and everything else, and they were used out there in the outhouse. And if they were out, then they went to the corn husks and cobs and stuff like that.
That scares me.
And in the cities, they actually had cloth they used, washed, and reused.
What happens if the election turned out as low due to whatever, and Trump wins, liberals riot just like they did last time? Maybe another illegitimate election, of course. This couldn't have turned out better for those people. This is the perfect snowstorm for them, because if it keeps going the rate it is in other countries here, by the time we get to the elections, we're still going to have issues. We're still going to have lockdowns, and people aren't going to be able to get out to vote. Of course, there's going to be a whole bunch of voter fraud too. So who knows?
Yeah. Of course, then most of the lockdown may be in the red cities.
I sure hope so. And I dare those cities to suddenly explode in the number of votes, because that'll just prove voter fraud faster. And you can say, wow.
Yep. So Henry, I got a flip on you. What if the 43% that didn't vote come out and vote all of the long-term elected senators and representatives out of office?
Oh, Warren, Pelosi, Schumer, they've already started getting backlash from their constituents.
Yep.
Big backlash. They are facing a hard fight this election year.
Yeah.
I think it's funny.
But I think it'd be funnier if anyone that has served more than 2 terms in the Senate and more than 4 terms in the House gets ousted. That would be absolutely funny. And then all the newbies that come in decide, hey, we're going to pass term limits. Oh, there'd be dancing in the street, Jay. Yeah, there would be dancing in the street. There'd also be people out there, oh, they're taking away our gods. They're taking away our elected gods. Yeah.
All right, CR. Thanks for being here. Appreciate it.
All right, take it easy, CR.
And Henry's, yeah, that's a big issue. And it's something that I personally have to be aware of, because I have little to no transportation to an emergency facility should I come up with something. As 90% of the people live in the complex I live in, which are very social people, and I'm not. So the minorities, the people with little to no health care or no access to health care, are going to be the ones probably hardest hit by this if it continues to explode the way it does in other countries. I pray our country is spared. But like I said in my live stream not too long ago, we were spared a judgment. This country didn't repent. It didn't change its ways. It's actually gotten worse. And, look what happened to Egypt or in Israel and all those other countries back in the Old Testament. If they didn't listen, the best story to illustrate it is the story of Jonah going to Nineveh. And they repented when they were told what was going to happen. God stayed his hand for 40 years until they went back to their old ways. And he said, done, you're done. And Nineveh was destroyed. Okay. So, there's biblical history showing what can happen if we don't change.
Okay, Tim, the name of the channel is Earth Clinic. That's the full name of the channel.
Looks like it.
I think someone mentioned that once before. It sounds familiar. Come on. YouTube, let's go. Earth Clinic, search.
Yeah, Grumpy is antisocial. Unless I know the people.
Yeah, I'm going to subscribe to it. So let me bring it back up and I'll throw the link out there for everybody.
Excuse me.
But I haven't seen anything from them in a while. Yeah, it's been a while since Earth Clinic has put anything out. Hopefully they're working on something here, coming up here. This here. Okay, and post that. There you go. And yes. Yeah, I'd like to see Earth Clinic put out something on the elderberry syrups and stuff.
See, for me, it's kind of a semi-fortunate thing because I don't get out much.
Yeah.
But I have to pay attention to my surroundings and what's going on in my county because my son goes to school. And it's already been proven the little ones are not immune from it, contrary to what the media is telling you. There's been babies that if they found babies that have had it, yes, they recovered, but there's something in their genomes at their ages that's preventing them from getting it really bad.
Yeah. And there's the one doctor wasn't that old, and he wasn't
32 years old.
Yeah.
Discovered the person that had it on December 13th had it for 2 weeks already. Putting it right at, like I told you, December 1st, November 30th, our day.
Yeah.
Wow.
Right. There's some dude of a volcano. Jeez.
Right. But see, that's a distraction. They're trying to get your mind off of what you need to be preparing for. They don't want people to understand what's going on. That's why they keep filling you full of fluff.
Hey, Jay, the original Andromeda Strain movie. Yeah, very. That's there was a lot of stuff. That movie was based on a lot of science.
I've got that on audio disc, and I like it.
Yeah.
But see, if I want fluff, I'll go out and get me 2 pieces of bread, some bananas, some peanut butter, and marshmallow fluff. And I'll have me a Fluffernutter. If I want fluff, I'll have me a Fluffernutter and enjoy it. Very could be. Oh, my cat's got her ears down. She's mad. She's not bouncing all over the house now. Come here, Titan.
Yeah.
Kitty.
Yeah. I gotta check to see if I haven't seen that in a while.
What's that?
The Andromeda Strain movie. I'm gonna see if it's on.
I've got on an audio disc, which I keep wanting to listen to it, but things keep happening, and then I realize, oh darn, I got to go work on that video, and then I got sick.
Yeah.
I love my son. I love my son. I love my son. He's frustrating, but I love my son.
Huh.
Colostrum? Never heard of it.
What? Wow. They have it to rent or buy on Amazon Prime, but they don't have it. They don't have it free again. Oh well. Cool.
That was a thought.
Yeah. There are a lot of good movies I like to see come back here too.
Mother's Milk.
Okay,
I'm a little old for Mommy Milk, but thanks for the offer.
I'm closing my lips.
Yeah, I realized after I said that it probably came out a little wrong, but it is what it is.
No, there are several books where that's a topic of one of them. In fact, both the series of books are by Thomas A. Watson. One is Dark Titan Journey series, and the other one is Forgotten Forbidden America series.
Cecilia, actually, one of my growing videos right now is my Food for Patriots review video. And it has got like 1,800 views on it. The last 600 have come since the middle of December. So, hey, they making some money off me now.
Yeah. Yeah, I screwed up the other. Was it yesterday? Yeah, it was yesterday when I went to Home Depot. I should have grabbed all 3 of those cases of 40. Only grabbed one of them. Should have grabbed all those masks they had.
Well, I need to check my Lowe's because I know when their truck comes in. Having worked there in the past for a little over a year, I know exactly what day the truck comes in, and I know how the guys work, and all I got to do is
Yeah.
drop a word, and if there's anything in there, they'll make sure they hide it for me.
Yeah, there was a this was a Home Depot brand ones at HDX. For their N95 masks.
Well, don't go into my Lowe's there, Jay. I need a chance. I can't go until Friday. And no, Tibor, you can't go check my Lowe's either. You stay over in your side of the county. Excuse me.
Yeah, this is interesting here. For they have the 30-pack listed, and it says delivery unavailable, out of stock in your store. The 15-pack delivery unavailable, out of stock in your store. And they don't even list the 40-pack here on this page. But if I put it up here and I go 40-pack, it brings it, at least it did yesterday. It's not even bringing up now the 40-pack now up at all. So I have a feeling they
probably restricted its sell.
Yeah. I mean,
See, Tibor actually doesn't live that far from me.
Uh-oh.
So if he says he's going to Lowe's, I'm going to have to try and run. I can't run fast enough, so he'll beat me to it.
What time does Lowe's open? 6?
Yeah. 7.
How far away from it is it?
It's a half mile, or not, well, depending on which way I take, it's probably closer to 3/4 of a mile to it.
So you figure how long does it take you to walk there? You get there, so you're there as soon as the door opens?
I can't, because I'd have to take my kid then. He wouldn't be able to get on the bus.
Ah, dang.
Yeah, because his bus gets here at 7:30 in the morning. So see, he'll beat me to it.
Yeah, shoot.
Yep. Check auto parts stores too. I just don't have one I can get to in a respectable amount of time. And Cecilia, I do. I recommend everybody else do too. All right, Henry Droning. You have a good night. Be safe.
Yep. Okay, there's still no changes on the Hopkins map, and the YouTube ones live is not making any changes right now, although the chat's going absolutely nuts on theirs.
Yeah, the next update should be in approximately 2 hours and 21 minutes. Usually it occurs about 1 o'clock my time. No, 2 o'clock. I'm sorry, 2 o'clock.
Yeah. And here's something else about those Tyvek suits from Home Depot and Lowe's and everywhere else. People should have several pairs of those anyways, because in like a other event, say like a major earthquake or so, and there are people that have been killed by the earthquake or tornado or whatever, and you need to go out help move bodies, you want to put on one of those Tyvek suits, which is also good for a pandemic, chemical spill, other sorts of catastrophes where you don't want to be contaminated. So some of the preps aren't just for pandemics or earthquakes or tornadoes.
Yeah, I do hope the virus burns itself completely out. I hope it dies out quickly. I pray for it to die out quickly.
Yeah. Yeah, I got a feeling though, we got 6 more weeks for it to spread around in the U.S. before temperatures get warm enough to really impact it. Yeah, rustic traditions. A lot of people say that, but if there's dead bodies that have floated by and are now sitting in front of your place, yeah, you're going to want to
now I'm going to call my friend with the snowplow and tell him, hey, come plow my driveway. There's dead bodies out here. He's gonna say, I ain't touching them. I said, I ain't asking to touch them. Just plow them out of the way, man, so we can get through here. Plow them back to the back of the complex into the field back there. Let the wildlife eat it. I just won't eat the wildlife.
Yeah, California's warming up. My wife was saying that up by San Francisco, that they had 76 degrees Sunday.
Yeah, ours have been hovering near 60 for the last couple of days.
Yeah, so they've been having some warm streaks there. So take a look, see here. Yeah, right now it's 63 up there. Its temperature is dropping. It's still going to be 66 tomorrow, 60 on Friday. So California, northern bound Bay Area is dropping down. But then it starts again on Monday, starts to warm up again on Monday, and it'll be up to 67 again on Wednesday. As far as this goes out. I love the National Weather Service. Just gives you stuff really good. Ooh, we're getting up to 52 on Friday, Saturday. Then it drops down to 43, but Friday night, it actually does not get below freezing Friday night. Woohoo! We may lose a lot of that snow out there.
Yeah, and Friday's the first day I get a chance to walk uptown to see if I can get anything I need.
All right.
Yeah, it's 33 degrees right now.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, it's 9:42 here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But see, I like colder weather when I have to walk places, so I can deal with 41 on Friday.
Oh, got 14 watching now. Another one just popped up one.
Yay. Got 30 likes so far. Holy cow.
Yeah. $11.44 in Canada.
Well, it is getting late, folks. We've been at this for a little over 2.5 hours. So I will allow you all to relax and fall into a state of unconscious bliss. And we will catch you all later on the next one. Be safe, all.
Yep.
God bless.
All right. And I'll be here at 10 o'clock at Camp Patton Family Compound, 10 o'clock Mountain Time tomorrow morning for continue whatever's on your mind then. So if you're able to get up in a few hours, and that's 12 hours from now, I'll see you here.
Night all. Be safe. God bless.
Night.